Hello and welcome to my 5 tips video to help you succeed with Age of Wonders Planetfall, which releases August 6th. And I think we should probably start off this video with a bit of a disclaimer. I got this copy of the game, the press copy, for free with Paradox to kind of look at it a little bit before the official release and hype it up a little bit. So take that into consideration. I have been on vacation the past 2 weeks, so I haven't got loads of playtime with Planetfall, but I have played a lot of Age of Wonders games in the past, and I feel like there is enough in common between Age of Wonders 3 and Planetfall for me to give some pretty useful hints to new players who maybe haven't ever played an Age of Wonders title, or for those of you who are returning and maybe haven't played one of these in a little while. So without further ado, let's get into our first tip, which is combat simulation centers are incredibly useful. I remember building one of them in this place pretty early on. I think I can find it. There we go. And it just grants you a little bit of experience every turn, which is pretty good for your lower tier units. It doesn't take too long for you to level up troopers to their first tier. I think it takes 6 XP just to go into the first level, and that allowed me to take out a lot of nasty little spawners and clear out these little relic sites all around me with just some crummy little troopers and some support. Where is my main stack? It's down here, isn't it? There we go. I found him. My my support units here make my other little ones very useful, and as you can see, they've already maxed out their XP. I think 1 or 2 of these didn't even do that through combat. They just sat on the capital for 10 turns or so. And you need to just do it for 20 turns to max out a tier 1 unit, but I think the higher tier units, they take more XP to level up and maybe even level up more, so using them in battle is probably a good thing to do. But yeah, Combat Simulation Center, incredibly useful. It just helps you kind of snowball your empire with that power through level ups pretty early on. My next tip is to rush to tier 3 and tier 2 units as quickly as possible. If you can get them out in the field of battle and clearing sites, you'll have more resources in your economy earlier in the game. Plus, since it takes more XP to actually level them up, you want to have them in your army as early as possible so that you get their level up bonuses. I remember in the last one you could hover over this and you can. I love that that's still part of the game. The tooltips in this game are amazing. But yeah, as you can see, he's already getting some bonuses to accuracy. Looks like plus 5%, and if I get him all the way to prime, that's pretty nice. A little bit more accurate too. And that probably is true for a lot of these other ones. They get some nice little things when they get to their last thing. Looks like mostly accuracy bonuses, but I don't think always accuracy bonuses. It's just that's the type of stuff they need. Yeah, this one gets firm. Oh, and actually never mind. I thought they get something else, but I'm not obviously an expert on that. I haven't looked too closely into it. It's just something that I think will be useful to invest in based on previous experience. Also, if you can get like not your base race units, if you can get some tier 3 units through clearing out sites, or tier 2 or tier 3, that really helps diversify your damage channels, and then you can tackle sites that you may not have otherwise been able to. So that is that tip, and I think we're ready for tip number 3, which is to choose your trait points that you get from level ups, or you use those wisely, because you don't get a lot of them, and every once in a while you'll get a level up which will give you some very nice bonuses. Like when I got to level 4, I believe my main hero was able to was able to get something pretty awesome. I think it was called, yes, Aurora Guidance. I think that is specific to my class, yes, Celestian. So once I got to level 4, I was able to increase all of my units' accuracy, pretty good with my troopers, and let's face it, pretty good all around since a lot of units are actually ranged in Planetfall. I think the Vanguard may have a little bit more ranged units than other ones, so this Celestian power paired really nicely with my armies and has allowed me to do some nice stuff. I'm pretty happy with this playthrough. It's only on the default settings, but that's what I think is probably good to learn the game. Now I can go back and play on a harder setting, but there's still a lot of little things that are locked that I'll probably want to get. I guess the ones that are unique to Celestian are probably pretty good, but I haven't looked at them a whole lot. Yeah, that looks like a nice one. Battle plan. Equipping a ship might be nice. A vehicle. I'm not terribly sure how that works. I think it's in here somewhere. Like, this guy looks like a vehicle, right? Yeah, I don't get it because I don't see anywhere to click for that kind of thing. But it's probably right in front of me. Anyways, let's move on to the 4th tip, which is pops are power. So you probably want to grow your population centers as quickly as possible by focusing on food. I think I didn't really understand how sectors worked when I first started, and I put this one on production, but a lot of my colonists were actually on this tile, or whatever you call it, this resource, to allow me to grow as quickly as I could to grab all the sectors around me. And yeah, I think that when you have those pops earlier in the game, you can use them for all kinds of different things, not just pop growth and grabbing little sectors, little space around you. But for research and production, to pump out units if you really need them, which this place, my main capital, is actually really awesome at. I think we got a site that gives us extra defense here. I don't know where it is. It came from there. Yeah, I think that thing gives us extra defense, so it's just like, why not build my units here? It seems like a smart idea. I don't see it right now, but I swear. We got some, oh, it's under here, isn't it? Reinforcement factory, yeah. Can't see it. But that thing basically provides us with extra defense when we build units out of that location. Pretty nice. But, you know, you need basically food first, and then you're going to want to develop your production. I would say after that you should focus on research pretty early on. If you don't get your research, you're gonna really suffer. So you want to get research, but probably not in your first sector that you grab. You pick up that, get some food, production, research, and then last you want energy. You never want your energy income to go negative, but I think I got down to like plus 15 a turn because I was investing a lot in garrisons, which I didn't really understood how expensive they were, but I think they're probably worth it because then you can move your other armies around, clear out locations. So not worrying too much about little stacks, just grabbing these locations. This place definitely has a nice garrison. So yeah, that's that tip. I think we're ready for the last tip, which is to trade with dwellings. I remember I saw a dwelling and I thought, well, the more I have under my control, the better, right? And then when I cleared it out, it only gave me 1 pop to send to another location. I guess since we did it peacefully, it may have been like, well, you didn't use a bunch of resources, so you shouldn't get an entirely new city right after you sent out your first colonizer and plopped it. I think I plopped it down here, and the city, the dwelling, was over here, or maybe this was the dwelling. Yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy at this point, but basically I decided to kill the growth and instead of get nice units from them. And more recently I saw this dwelling and I saw how you actually get these units, and it's using a resource which I have maxed out on. I need to spend my influence on things like this melter, a very nice tier 3 unit, or the Mad Preacher, which I really want. It's a tier 4 unit and it looks amazing, but to do that we need to have higher relations. Would have been possible if we met them earlier in the game. Right now we're just waiting for a quest. We can do a quest in one more turn, which will allow us to get some pretty awesome stuff. So yeah, that's my 5 tips for Age of Wonders Planetfall. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, to comment, maybe share with a friend. All that stuff really does help grow the channel. And yeah, if you want to hang out with me, you can come join the Discord. We'll probably do some multiplayers of this sometime in the near future. As I just said earlier in the video, I got back from vacation, so it's a little bit hectic. I want to do some Stellaris multiplayer sometime in the next few weeks. We're going to start up on Sundays. So yeah, if you've got suggestions for when it'd be a good time to either play or watch me play a multiplayer Age of Wonders Planetfall, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And I think that's everything I wanted to say. Hope to see you around. Have a good one.